Hello everybody, welcome to my channel again. Today's video is going to be about SUQQU foundation. I have been using a few of their foundations for a while, so I think it's the right time to start doing a proper review about them. A little bit of background about this brand. SUQQU is a Japanese high-end cosmetic brand and that's part of the Kanebo group. All my information comes from the internet, so if there's any mistake, feel free to correct me. Kanebo is a major Japanese cosmetic brand and that's been around for like 120 years. SUQQU together with RMK are part of their makeup artist brand, and I think the creator of SUQQU is a famous Japanese makeup artist. She mainly does film makeup and she wrote a few books as well. Very popular. Created a brand and afterwards left SUQQU to go on creating her own brand, which is called Y Method. SUQQU is most well known for its foundation and its brushes. So in Europe, SUQQU is available to be purchased from Selfridges. Selfridges is a big department store in UK. They also have online shop, selfridges.com. You can also purchase a SUQQU product from there, but the choices of stock are very limited. A lot of the current season makeup items are not available. Okay, so let's start from the foundation. I'm gonna do it one by one in the order that I purchased them. So the first item I have ever purchased from SUQQU, the foundation, is this one. It's called SUQQU Frame Fix Cream Foundation. Color is 102. This is part of the old packaging where they just have a plain black color cap. So when you open, it has, I kept this part as a packaging. I didn't want the cream to become dry. I almost finished it. I just have a little bit on the side of the bottle. So let me just take it out. Yeah. And if you spread it out, it just covers basically everything. First thing about this foundation, it has a texture of your normal face cream. When you put on your face, once you start spreading it over, it immediately melts into your skin. The application process to me is very easygoing. The foundation itself works well with sponges and it works well with these type of foundation brushes. Second thing about this foundation that you need to know before you purchase is that it's extremely high coverage. Extremely. I don't use this word lightly. It's very opaque. So high coverage is something that some people want, some people don't want. So you have to really decide yourself if it's something you look for in a foundation, because it covers basically everything on your face with a small amount of product. Normally if I use on my face, I just put my ring finger into the jar and I just dab a little bit. That's enough to cover my whole face because I don't want a completely masked effect. But this is what it can provide for you because it's a full coverage product. But the good thing about it is that it does not give you 100% matte finish. It gives you a little bit of skin-like finish, so it still has a bit of glow, a bit of translucency on your skin, so it doesn't look really fake after you apply it. My best advice to you about this foundation is that don't overuse it. Just use a little bit at a time. You can always apply more on the area that you need more coverage afterwards. I think that's also why this jar lasted me such a long time, because a lot of the time I basically just mix it with other product to really dilute it and I still get a good effect from it. The overall performance of this foundation is quite stable. I would call it a very stable foundation because it doesn't really move after excess oil production, so it's very easy to manage. It doesn't become patchy over time. So I think this foundation performs very well and it lasts quite a long time. On my skin, it pretty much needs to be touched up in the middle of the day and it will last at least 8 hours. One thing I will say is because of the type of foundation it is a cream foundation, it seems to have a little bit more oil content in it. It's very suitable for winter because in the winter weather tends to be drier, windy and cold, so I think this foundation will perform very well in that type of environment. This is the SUQQU Liquid Frame Fix Foundation. It's in the same color 102. It's a new packaging or new formula. That's why the cap has a silver color band around it. So it comes with a pump, which is very convenient. I think it's really bad if a major cosmetic brand producing foundation without giving you a pump or having to charge you extra money for a pump. So for that one, I love the packaging of this, and it's the right amount of product every time you pump it out. It's 1 pump is enough to put over your whole face. On my hand, as you can see, it doesn't really move on my hand. It's not emollient enough like a proper liquid. It's just a slightly more lighter version cream. It's very easy to spread it over your face. So it has a texture of a lotion. Coverage wise, this one is a medium coverage product. You can, however, build it up to almost a full coverage. If you're really trying to pile up the layers of foundation, it can become a full coverage because the product is not that thin. So when you spread it, you will get a decent coverage from it. I think if you don't like the full coverage look, which covers all the pores, all the imperfections on your face, you will like this foundation because you'll still be able to see what's going on underneath your skin, but everything is all blurred out and the color become even. Your skin still has a natural glow to it because the finish is also not matte. You have a light glow on your face after you apply. So I think it's a really natural looking foundation if you get the right color for your face. It lasts longer than the cream foundation on me. I prefer to use it in the summer because I tend to sweat more and then produce more oil on my face. It's really too much to ask for the cream foundation to last on my face all day. This is a better choice for hotter weather and then when you're sweating and produce more oil. It lasts also quite a long time for me, and it needs minimum touch-up. So the foundation are able to stay intact as long as you don't rub it, they will stay there. So it's really impressive performance to me. You cannot really get any better than this. Next one I purchased is this one. It's called SUQQU Dual Effect Powder Foundation. The color I have is 101. It's only when I went to the counter I realized that they charge separately for the powder and for the compact. So, I understand a lot of Japanese cosmetic brand does this, whether it's high-end or whether it's drugstore. They tend to charge their powder and the compact separately. But I don't get it because I feel like for something that's already very expensive by itself, it should come with the packaging. After the sales assistant told me this, I said to her, you know what, I just get the powder without the compact. After I got home, I have this old compact empty already. So I put it in. It seems to fit, so I've been using it this way since then. It's called Dual Effect because it's got two parts of the product. 2/3 of the powder is on their website. They said this is section A, top part. The bottom 1/3 of the powder, they call it section B. So the reason they call it Dual Effect is because it has two formulations in one pack. The top part, which is part A, is used for cover pores and control sebum. And the lower 1/3 part is for fighting dryness, which means the powder on the top is more suitable for an oily area. The powder in the bottom is more suitable for a dry area on your face. I actually was not aware of this when I bought it. They are slightly different colors. The top part is lighter, the bottom part is slightly darker. So I use just the sponge just to really just mix everything together and press it into my face. Really just pressing it, not dragging. When I have some pores in the nose area, I tend to do a little bit wiping motions on the pore area. The rest area I'm just pressing onto my face. It seems to work well for me. This powder has very high coverage. I tried this one with only my basic skincare routine and then didn't put anything on and straight away put the powder on top of it. It seems to cover everything on my face. The finish is very, I can say, flawless finish. It's a little bit dry in the beginning when you first applied it because after all it's a powder. But after a short while it's already started to mix with the natural oil of my skin. It's starting to look better. I don't think it covers the pore as well as I thought. But although I have very big pores on my nose, but afterwards I can still see the pore on my nose. It didn't really 100% fill in the gap when I used the sponge. So maybe there's something wrong with my application technique, but that's the way I normally apply. It didn't really work for me. It does not move with water, for example, sweating, or if you get in contact with water, it doesn't really change it at all. But I think it is more moisturizing than some of the powder I've used before. That's more designed for absorbing oil. So I think this is not the best in that area. It's more suitable for people with a combination, maybe slightly oilier skin. But if you have extremely oily skin, I wouldn't rely on this powder to, control the oil that well. This is called SUQQU Frame Fix Lasting Pack Foundation. The color I have is 002. This one I didn't buy myself. Actually, one day my husband went to Selfridges. I think something got into his mind. He decided to get me a surprise gift because he know I love the brand. So he thought that was the safest option, just to buy something from SUQQU. And this cream compact just came out at that time. Sales assistant recommended him. He gave a description of me being Chinese and she recommended this color 002. Somehow it matched. It all worked out in the end. But because of it's him who purchased this, he bought the package, the compact with the cream foundation all together. I would have probably made a different decision. So the compact has a big mirror and then has two sections. This one is for putting the sponge, this one is for putting the cream. The cream itself opens up like this, so it has a plastic cover. You can also completely take it out from the packaging. Like this. It's very soft. When you put your finger into the cream, it immediately melts. When I apply it on my hand, I can feel it's slightly drier than all of the other product I had before. But nevertheless, it spread out very easily. It's practically the same color as my hand, so I cannot really see. I don't think I showed it properly from here. I just basically use my finger, dab in the product, and then spread it on my face. And then I tend to use a brush to spread it out, which works very well for me. But it can get a little bit dry if you use brush. Maybe for someone who has a drier skin, or you have a lot of flakiness on your skin, I would suggest you use the sponge. It will give you a better or easier application than using the brush. Again, very high coverage. If you want, you could have covered your face entirely without seeing whatever that's going on underneath this foundation. But if you really reach that maximum coverage stage, then the skin can look a little bit fake because the final finish is not super glowy. Close to the nose, they are getting a little bit of shine. So I know the oil underneath the foundation starting to come through. But I'm also sweating a lot and I just see my sweat running down my face. They don't really do anything to the foundation. It doesn't really disturb it, so that's a good sign. For the reason it mixes very quickly with the oil and it does not really do anything to control the oil, I think this foundation is more suitable for people who have combination to drier skin. If you're a little bit more oily, you have to be ready to touch up throughout the day. And the last issue regarding all the SUQQU foundations are about the color. I have recently received the email from a subscriber who watched my video regarding SUQQU. She's really researching on the brand and then to decide whether or not she wants to buy a foundation or what color she wants to get. From the information I could find, SUQQU has only 6 colors in their entire selection. So it doesn't matter it's cream or it's liquid or it's compact, it's only just 6 colors. And they put a chart on their international site to show you where are these colors ranging. But you can tell, for example, from the picture I'm gonna insert into this video, the reason I've been purchasing all of these colors for 102 is because 102 is kind of in between all the other colors, so it's right in the middle. But without physically trying, you just don't know, because even these colors, they don't match me 100% perfectly. SUQQU has a very limited color choices. It really is designed more for Asian women or light-skinned people. It has nothing too dark. I think it's very challenging without physically trying it on to really find the right color. When I see the chart they have on the internet, it actually confuses me. From it, you cannot really get a proper indication of how that color is gonna look on your skin. You have a rough idea on what color base or color family that foundation comes from, but that's about it. And also, to make the color even more trickier, although all of these products has 6 colors, but 102 in the liquid foundation does not equal to 102 in the cream foundation. I tried it on my hand. The liquid foundation 102 actually is darker than the cream foundation 102. So this will make the things even more complicated, because just because you use one and then you like the color doesn't mean that one is going to be exactly the same color, even if you choose the same number. But I also don't know, for example, I have never used the new version of this cream. Maybe the new version of this cream, when it's the same number, it's the same color. But then I really have no idea. Without comparison, you cannot say anything. So I hope today's video provided you with some useful information regarding this brand. Overall speaking, SUQQU has a very high success rate when bringing out product. So I think you cannot really go wrong. The thing that can make things go wrong is really about the color choice. So I hope you liked today's video, and then if you have any questions, please feel free to send me a comment. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!